Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're doing alright. I've just been sitting here just about to start this page and I thought I might as well film it because I'm sure that this page got requested and I have already started it a few nights ago. If you've been following me on Instagram, I've been doing a lot of diamond painting and not a lot of colouring. So I did start this. I based and actually finished the bones all in Albert Dürer. I was curious about the paper. It did wrinkle ever so slightly, but because it's been sat there flat on my little stock of books, it flattened out quite nicely. I use them on the leaves, but I need to add a little bit of shading. And then for the hair, I know it looks like that I've not done anything, but trust me, I've used Polychromos, the warm greys for his hair. I think once I finish the whole picture, I'll add a little bit of white highlight. But for his body, I want to cheat a little bit. I'm using my Ohuhu alcohol markers. Now I want to swatch out some skin tones. I think for the shading as well, because the Polychromos worked nice on his hair, I might use them for the skin, or I'm just looking at my pencils now. Maybe some Colour Soft. I might use Colour Soft actually. I've moved my desk round again. So I'm hoping that the lighting now is coming from here. I am back up against the wall. I've managed to figure out the tripod situation, and I've got Rolo now on this side. Right, so I'll pick a couple of colours out. We've got R19 Burley Beige, R18 Pastel Peach. Now I'm just doing this because I'm being lazy. I sometimes just like put an alcohol marker down and adding a little bit of shading. It's easy and it usually works well on this paper. I'm running out of skin tone alcohol markers. There used to be, I've not got it anymore because I've used them all up. Just a skin set. Now I didn't realise how low I actually were until I've sat down and started this video. R20 Powder Pink. I hope that these are still available in the skin set. I'm going to be very upset if they're not. And what about this one, R29 Pearl Colour. And have I got R20 twice there? R19, R20, because one of them might be nearly gone. So we'll try these. I'll swatch these out first and see how I get on. I'm just using this as a cheap watercolour pad that I got with something. I was thinking of saving it for a swatch book, but I wanted a really nice pretty one for a swatch book. So I'll try these ones first. Now, like I said, one of these might have come in the original set, or one of them might have come in the skin set. See, that's too peachy, I think, for what I want to go for. Yeah, that's not right. So them two need to go back. What about Burley Beige? Slightly better. Slightly. Pastel Peach. That's more so the colour that I was after. I know it looks very, very similar on camera. Very similar. So I'll put that other one back because I'm happier with the Pastel Peach. And then Per Colour. Well, that's a strange name, isn't it? Per Colour. Oh no, that's too dark. That's too dark. So I will just use this Pastel Peach shade, and then when I finish this video I'm going to stalk Amazon to see if I can find some more skin markers. I did try the Arteza ones way back when and I didn't like them. Unfortunately, so they got sent back. So you're going to work with my camera. Let me just adjust just to make sure that I'm happy. There we go. Yeah, so like I said, I've been doing a lot of diamond painting. I've actually, because I moved my desk yesterday, I've got basically the perfect setup now. This is the setup that I'm going to have once I move upstairs in the new house. Got this table here facing one wall, and then the dining table, which will be not a dining table, it'll just be a large table, which I might end up keeping that and just get a new dining table because it's perfect for me. Let's see what my husband says. It's already got paint and stuff on it that I can't get off, so that's a plus on my side. Even though it's not a plus, it's a plus for me to keep in my room. I'm going to go over his lips as well. It's a really light shade this, so I get away with it. I have got plastic sheet behind this to protect the page below this one. Right, so I do really like working in sections with alcohol markers because they will dry quite streaky, and I've just realised my tummy's rumbling. So if I work like this side of his body, and then because that tattoo, I want to say, tattoo's there. But it's nice to have a male character to colour for a change. We don't get many male characters, do we? But yeah, like I said, I'm just going with the flow sort of thing at the minute with my YouTube and my art in general. The mindless part of diamond painting, just finding the colours that you need and plonking that little drill down, has just really appealed to me when I'm having the stressful days and I don't have to sit and think about what colours I'm using and whatnot. And I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, I totally understand that. When I first heard of diamond painting, I was like, I would never ever get into that. I would never get into that. And I've well and truly fell down that rabbit hole. But I think it's helped because the picture that I'm doing is Mystic Art Mirrors, and I love that artist so much. I've done a few Hannah Lynn ones, and even they've not made me catch the bug as much as this one has. So yeah, I'm blaming Mystic Art Mirrors in a good way. So we've only got 1 week of school left after. It's Thursday today, and she's in school Friday, and then yeah, she's only got 1 week after that, and I think that's the summer holidays then. So it might be different on my channel for a couple of weeks. It might be I have to film in the evenings and I'll have to be a little bit quieter, or there'll be more time lapses, or I might not be on YouTube at all. It's all dependent on a lot of things. But a week tomorrow, so the last Friday that she's meant to be at school, is actually her operation day. So we're going to Liverpool. It was originally booked for her to have the surgery at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I rung up and requested to change it to earlier in the day because we have to start her from 6:30 that morning. So I wanted it done earlier in the day, so they've pushed it forward by 2 hours. I'm really dreading it, to be honest. I'm really dreading it. It's basically going to be a whole day in hospital. They're only allowing one parent in the room, and she's difficult at times with the two of us, so having to give her, well, we've had the pre-op over the phone sort of thing. She has to have a COVID test as well the day we get the lateral flow test. So I was asking questions like, will it be gassing her before they put the cannula in her hand or her arm or wherever they're putting it at? And they said, oh well, you'll just speak to the anaesthesiologist, and that's what they're called. You'll speak to them when you get there. And I'm one of them people that I'd rather know beforehand and sort of get my head around the idea and the situation and what I'm going to have to do, because it is me that's going to be with Isabel. Dad's going to be there with us, but because it's only one parent in the room, it's going to be me. I want to be there. When she's poorly and stuff at home, it's usually me that she wants to like cuddle and stuff, so I'm just thinking I'm probably the best person for her to go through this with. That's his pants there. So I said to the lady on the phone, do we get any say in it, sort of thing? She said, you do, but if the doctor disagrees, then obviously it goes over your head, sort of thing, because I think she should have the gas on her to make her woozy, if not sleepy, then you go to sleep, then put the cannula in her arm or hand, because what's the point in really upsetting a child, especially one that you can't explain to, when you can just give them the gas and air and then do it then. So we'll see on the day. I'll only find out on the day. So yeah, I'm dreading it a bit, to be honest, because if I remember correctly, when she had the Botox in her legs, they didn't knock her out for that. They didn't put her to sleep. They give her a medication that was meant to like relax her, and she was awake during the procedure, and she was good, to be fair. She was good as gold, actually. But then she fell asleep after she's had it done. It was like that they should have given her the medication half an hour earlier to completely knock her out. But she's not had anything like this before, where she's, you know, she's put under for them to do surgery on her. So they are injecting her glands in her neck and glands in her face. So that's the reason that she has to be asleep, because obviously they really don't want her moving. So she'll have that done. I'll be in the waiting room with Dad, and then it's a case of waiting for her to wake up, getting her to eat, drink, make sure she's been to the toilet, and then I think they'll let us home then. We're hoping to be home for tea time. Hoping being the word. But I've just got a funny feeling, you know when you know it's going to be a late one. So wish us luck. Send us prayers our way for Friday, because I am really dreading it. And there's other things that I'm worried about, but I'm trying not to think about. Like, there is things that could happen while she has the procedure, and I don't really want to think about them. There could be side effects. Trying my best not to think about them, because I've already agreed for her to have this Botox. And then it's just a case of waiting up to 3 months. Up to 3 months to find out if it's actually worked. If it has, brilliant. That means we're going back to the hospital every 3 to 6 months to have this done, which isn't ideal, I know. But I'm really scared about having the actual surgery to move the glands around, because they've warned us that there is side effects, and the more severe than the Botox. She could lose a smile. That little girl has got the most beautiful smile. She could struggle swallowing. That is one big thing in cerebral palsy. A lot of people with cerebral palsy struggle with swallowing and eating. And luckily, thank God, Isabella's not one of them people. She's a good eater. She's a picky eater, but she's a good eater. And like I said, I'd never ever forgive myself if we lost a smile. With her not talking, the way that she communicates is with smiling, laughing, crying. So I don't know what we'd do. She might lose her sense of taste. This is with the surgery to move the glands. And again, with her not talking, how's she going to tell me, Mummy, I can't taste that food? And she loves certain food. She loves her McDonald's over a weekend. We used to do it on a Friday, but Dad started to get home too late. So every Saturday night she has a Happy Meal, and she loves it. Her face lights up when my husband walks in the room with that McDonald's box. So yeah, a lot of things to consider. My eldest, my 16-year-old, weird saying that, is doing his GCSEs. He started this week. So where I had day Thursday, he did his English yesterday, he's doing history today. And I've missed one day. I've tried to make him a nice breakfast on each of the mornings. Like I said, try and be in the word, because it is a bit of a rush in the morning with Isabel going at 8 o'clock. I'm already like a headless chicken. But I have tried. I didn't this morning. I was mega tired, because Isabella had me up, well, me and my husband up at, gosh, what time was it? I think the first time was 2. And I think she stayed awake then till about 4:15, because that's when I walked back up and she had all the covers off and she was still kicking around and making noise. And then she finally went back to sleep, and then she woke up when Dan left for work, and then she fell back to sleep then. So trying to get her up for school this morning was fun. I'm going to colour this. I said colour his skin because I think that's meant to be a tattoo. So yeah, I'm just sitting here filming this now. I've got some packing to do. I want to start packing some of my art supplies that I know that I'm not going to use in the next 3-4 months. E.g. like my paint pouring stuff. I don't want to do any more paint pouring in this house because I don't want to make more mess for the people that are moving in. Because that's what happens. And yes, I know I could do it outside, but number one, the great British weather, you can't count on it. The weather apps are stupid. And the one and only time that I did do paint pouring outside, I have flies stuck in my painting. So no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So I've packed away the majority of the paint pour stuff with the canvases and all the mediums I use for it. And that's freed up a lot of space. That's how I've ended up moving my desk here. But there's some other things that I need to pack up. I've just been packing them up and putting them in cardboard boxes and leaving them at the front door because I refuse to go in that garage that we've got because it's full of spiders. Rollo saved my life last night. I say saved my life, I'm being a bit over dramatic. I was sat here and I'm facing the wall now and I've got the iPad in front of me. Let me just bring you out a minute. I just picked out my pencils then while I move the camera. I'm going with the Coloursoft. I haven't used these in a little while. This was one of them impulse purchases. I saw somebody else using them and I got a small set of 5 and I thought, oh, I really like these, so I went out and bought the full set and I haven't used them in a while, and they do, you burn through them really quick because they are soft. They're nice pencils. They're the original set that I got, like £5 in a tin. That tin I reused for watercolour. So I want to pick out purple first. I do like this shade and it is quite unique, this one, grey lavender. Right, so talking about what happened last night with Rollo. Yeah, so I've just realised I did the hoovering up last night at like 7:45 after moving my desk, and the world's biggest clump of hair under the chair that I've missed. Ugh. Problems. Yes, because I'm sat this way now looking at the wall. I'm not like I'm aware of my surroundings, but like I can't see behind me. And Rollo was sat, I added a picture to Instagram. I deleted it though because I was meant to put dog, and the stupid predictive text changed it to God. So it was meant to say guard dog, and she was sat at the patio doors looking out and it was raining, and it changed it to guard God. So I deleted it. I deleted that post because I looked like a right moron. But it was a good picture. It was a good picture. And I took it through Instagram, so I didn't save it to my phone. I'm just going over the already shaded areas and being lazy here. I hope that should be okay. Please forgive me, I'm getting used to this new setup again. So yeah, I was sat here and I noticed that she was like scurrying behind me. I heard like tappers behind me. I thought, what's she doing? What's she doing? Because she's not really one for playing with toys by herself. She'll play with bones and like mini balls. If you're playing with her, she won't like go out of her way. She's not that sort of dog. Currently she's sat in a bed asleep. She's very, very lazy. She's my sort of dog. So yeah, she was scurrying round behind me and I'm hearing this tipper-tapper. And I thought, what's going on? And mind you, I'm sat here in my pyjamas at barefoot because it was warm last night and we've got wooden flooring. So I had my feet on the floor. And I turns round. Not slowly, but you can imagine this in slow motion. I turns round and I see this huge, humongous, my husband calls me soft and it said it weren't huge, but it was, spider. And she was chasing it, and I just quickly came back like this and put my legs up on the chair and started squealing. I said, Rollo, get it, Rollo, get it. And my husband's always got his headphones on at night time because I'm watching the iPad. Because I've been binge watching the trial and he doesn't want to listen to that. So he's watching his football or whatever and he pulls his headphones off. He says, what's wrong, what's wrong? I said, spider, Rollo's got a spider. She wasn't trying to catch it. I think she was more curious of what it was. I don't think she would have been even big enough to do much about it. So he comes running over with my slipper, mind you, my slipper that's not got a sole. It's like a soft material. It's more like fluffy, big, thick, fluffy socks with the rubber underneath to stop you from slipping. I wear them a lot. So he comes running over with that and I just look at him and go, it's underneath my colouring cart at the side of me. And he goes to hit it with my slipper I said, you can't touch it with that. So he runs back in, puts his trainers on, and he does get rid of it. He does get rid of it. But yeah, for the rest of the night then, I was called soft. But yeah, I've had the door open since we've had this nice weather all week, and I've not seen one spider. And to be fair, I was calling him Fred, a tiny little spider. I mean, he was smaller than half of my nail there. He was tiny, and he was crawling around on the ceiling in the dining room, and occasionally I'd see him in the hallway crawling up the walls and onto the ceiling. I can deal with that. He was small, and I was happy just sat there watching him scurry around. I mean, I didn't like the fact that sometimes he was over my head. I'd just move out of the way and sit on a different chair. But yeah, I've not seen him in a while now, to be honest. Don't worry, I wasn't like sitting here talking to Fred the spider. I do sit here and talk to the dog, mind you, because I'm alone most of the time in the day. Which I like. I'm not whinging about. I do like my own company. But do you ever do that as well when you walk into a room and you forget what you've got and you go, Debbie, what did you walk in the room for? Oh, it was your phone. Oh, you were doing this. I do that numerous times a day. My husband says he would give anything to have cameras around this house just to see what I get up to in the day, like funny wise. Because there's times that I've like fell over and tripped over my own foot. What was it the other day that I was filming a video and I was coughing on air. I was choking on air. Just little things like that, just silly little things. So yeah, I don't know where Fred's gone. I've not seen him in a while. But I've got a funny feeling maybe one of the bigger spiders have got him. But yeah, anything bigger than Fred, I can't deal with. And luckily my son is not scared at all of spiders, and he's here from he gets home at about 2:45, 3 o'clock, and he doesn't really go out. My son is very antisocial. I was the total opposite at his age. But he keeps saying, Mum, it's kids nowadays. But then when we take Isabel for a walk in the evenings, I'm seeing these bunch of teenagers out. But in saying that, you know, I know where he is. I know he's not getting up to anything. He's just sat in his room. At the moment, he is doing a lot of revising, to be fair. And if he's not revising, he likes his books. I have bought him a couple of colouring books, trying to push my hobby on him, and he's not interested. I did get him to diamond paint. This was a couple of years ago. Way back when I got sent my first diamond painting, and it was huge. And there is a video on it, and it was bigger than my dining table, and it took me, my husband and my son to finish it off. We didn't really know what we were doing. We couldn't use multiplacers. I mean, I was even just like pulling and ripping the plastic and putting it back on, and there was hairs on it because I just didn't know what I was doing. It was funny because I was watching some of my diamond painting videos last night. I was like, what are you doing? You need to use this. You need to do it like this. But yeah, you have to start somewhere, don't you? I don't know what I'm going to do regarding the background on this one, because I did watch Kirsty from Kirsty Colouring Sketch. She did a video about I think it was the page behind this one actually. She did this page and it turned out flipping stunning. But she did a watercolour background on that, and I don't think I've got the patience for it. To be fair, the paper took it a little bit better than I thought. And I was speaking to Dan from Colouring with Dan, and he said that he'd used Inktense and it crinkled up terribly. I'm not really one for pastel backgrounds anymore, so I'm a bit, what do I do with the background? I can use acrylic paint. I could just use acrylic paint, and that could be a good idea, because I could just blank out some of these. But in saying that, it's going on his arm. But I could use just acrylic paint maybe, but that'll probably take me longer than I want. Maybe I'll use watercolour. Maybe I can do that in another video. I will have to check with Kirsty though, because I don't want her thinking that I'm pinching her idea that I'm doing my own watercolour. I'll have to ask her first. But me and Zoe from, I think it's Addicted to Colouring, please, Excuse me if I got the channel name wrong. We've been talking about the trial, and she does such good impressions of people. She did an impression of Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, she had me in stitches. So we was talking yesterday about the trial. I need to actually message her again today, because I need to catch up. I've probably got about 2 hours worth of yesterday's footage to catch up on. Obviously I can't watch that and do this at the same time, so I'll be able to catch up maybe this afternoon. I do want to take Rollo the dog out for a little walk. It's actually not raining at the minute. I'm touch wood. Yeah, touch wood that it's not. I was thinking then, is this real wood? And it's not. Let me lean across. Touch wood. I've got a wooden cabinet. I don't know what this table's. Is it MDF? Is that wood? I don't know. I've got a very, very rumbly tummy. I cannot be asked cooking tonight. I've cooked Saturday till I went out for an Indian. Sunday, was that Friday? That might have been Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's 5 days. It's Thursday today. I think I'm going to see if my husband wants the Chinese tonight. I'll just share a sweet and sour with Lewis. The portions that you get from Chinese is... how people... excuse me, I'm choking on her again. How people eat that. I've seen like these videos of TikTok where they do that. What I order from a Chinese, and they have like a chow mein and a sweet and sour and ribs and duck, and where'd you put it? So yeah, I'll share a portion with Lewis, and then my husband will get his own, and then he'll have leftovers as well. But we'll see. I haven't really spoken to him today. They're doing like this celebration thing at work. Like, it was a celebration breakfast, because I think the company that he works for has been on the job like 5 years. 5 years that they created this company. I think it's 5 years. So they're celebrating all the milestones. And I think tomorrow, he was meant to be working from home half of the day and then going in at 3 o'clock and having like another celebration thing. But no, I don't think he's working from home now. Which I'm pleased about, to be honest, because my husband's one of them, because Danny's worked all his life since he was 16 years old. He gets very antsy being at home. He can't just do his own thing. Like I'll sit here and colour for a bit, and then I'll go and do a bit of housework, and then normally I would like prep Isabel's tea, maybe take Rollo out for a walk, and then I'll sit and watch a bit of TV and then carry on with the rest of my day. He's really not like that. He gets really antsy, and when he's on the phone to people to do a work, he's pacing in the front room. Oh, just sit down. Just sit down and relax and just, stop worrying. But yeah, that's what he's like. So I'm quite pleased, actually, secretly, that he's going to work a normal time. He has beat some days. Oh, he was a sweetheart. Last night he was watching the TV, and he does have the headphones on quite loud because he doesn't want to hear what I'm watching, which is fine. And I heard what was the song? That one off Lion King. The heading of Lion King when it first starts, and my head just shot round, and he looked at me, and he must have read my lips, because I went, "What's that, Lion King?" And he just nodded, and we didn't say anything else. He was watching one of his comedy programs, and they went to the Lion King, whatever it was, anyway. So then 2 or 3 hours later, we were getting sorted, going up to bed, and he was still watching TV and playing on his laptop, and I was upstairs still watching the trial at that point. I'm going to switch colours now. And then he messages me. Let me see if I can find the message. I just realised after I showed you this, I'm going to have to change the battery in my camera. It's flashing at me. Would you fancy going to watch that show? It's on at Manchester. And he sent me the link to the Lion King tour. I thought that was dead sweet, and I put definitely, yeah, but I don't think he'll like it. It's not his sort of thing. But yeah, he sent me that last night. So he came up to bed, and then we was trying to work out how could we go to that, because there was an early showing at 2 o'clock, which was a definite no. I'm going to add a little bit more purple, bright purple. Yeah, that's a definite no. But there was a showing at 7:30, so we'd have to get there for like 6:45. But still, we've got nobody that can do the nighttime routine with Isabel. And I think he said it was October, November time. And I said to him, well, maybe we might, hopefully, fingers crossed, we might have moved by then. So the reason that people can't do the routine at night time, it's not that they can't, it's because of the stair lift. Because the stair lift at the top of the stairs is incredibly dangerous, the only people that me and Danny trust are me and Dana. I wouldn't trust anybody else, because if something happened, I wouldn't forgive myself and I wouldn't forgive that person, and that's not fair. That's not fair. I know that's not fair for me to say that, but that's the way that I feel. So we've both decided between us that we can't have anybody looking after her around about bedtime for her going to bed because of that reason. But once we've moved, she's downstairs, her bedroom's downstairs, even though we have to have a stair lift initially to bathe her. But I'm on the fence actually about putting the paddling pool in the kitchen. It's tiled kitchen floor. Will it be easier bathing? I don't know. The stair lift people have said you're going to have to probably wait about 6 months, which is ridiculous, so we might have to just fork out. I think it's about £1, £1.50 and a half to get a stair lift fitted if we pay for it ourselves, so we might have to do that, which is not ideal because it's expensive as moving. Yeah, so this concert, so I said to him, you know, we might have moved by then. And he just looked at me and went, we won't have. That's just wishful thinking, the way that everything's going on. I mean, I've already started packing my art stuff up. Come on, Danny, I don't want to be waiting that long. That's why I'm not packing like my pencils and paints and stuff. Anything that I know that I'm going to use on a daily. Even though at the moment it's not been on a daily. On a weekly, let's say. I'm not packing away. So, but we'd have to buy the tickets now. So it's taking the risk of buying the tickets and us not being able to go. And he said, well, very worst case, you'll have to go with Lewis on your own. Would a teenage boy like to go something like that? Probably not. Probably not. And my mum's quite poorly and other issues, so I don't really see her that much. My dad does his own thing with his wife, which is fine. And I don't think his wife would be interested to go and see Lion King either. My sister's always mega busy with work. And I don't really have many friends. I've got probably one close friend that I see. I mean, I've got a lot of friends from YouTube. I've made loads of friends through YouTube. That's the one thing. Even if I stop filming and uploading tomorrow, I've made all these friends on YouTube, and I will. Some of the people that I've made friends with, I can see myself being friends with for years and years and years and years and years. Corey being one of them. I can see myself being friends with her for a very, very long time. But the actual person that I see that's one of my friends, I don't see her on a regular basis. Kirsty, I don't see her on a regular basis. I do keep trying to organise things. Go out for something to eat, or come round here, or we'll do this. I asked her yesterday, can you take me to Iceland the next time you go, please? Because technically you drive past your house, my house. So I think we're going there next week. But I don't think she would be. I think she'd probably be interested in going there, but I don't think she'd be able to with her situation. But I don't know. I've not actually asked her. But I think if we get the tickets boots, it's something for me to look forward to. Lion King is my very favourite. I'm not a massive Disney nerd. Not really. I'd love to be. I would love to be one of them people that buys like the ornaments and stuff like that, and the teddies, and but that is just not me. But I love people that are like that. But I do love Lion King. I've still got one of the teddies from when I was little, actually. And I've tried to get Isabel into it, and she's a no-go with that. Any Disney film she doesn't like. Weird child. I think I'll do this hand, and then move up, and then do his body. So yeah, I'll speak to him again tonight and see if we can book it. Oh, the other person as well, Dan, he's super sweet. Super sweet. We need to organise to meet up. We've not actually met in person, but we're quite local. Emma's really lovely as well. If I don't mention your name, I do apologise, but I do speak to a lot of people. A lot of people. Claire's really nice as well. I'm hoping. Does anybody know? Do you remember it was years ago, there was an event colouringheaven did, and it was like a meet-up, and there was lessons, and Sammy's another person that just made me remember because Sammy went to it. I wonder if they'll ever do that again, and it gives us all the opportunity to meet up together in one place. Not just YouTubers, I mean subscribers as well, but meet up with that. How cool would that be? And have a colouring lesson. I missed out on that opportunity way back when, but I'd love it if they did it again. Should we all email colouringheaven and ask them to do it again? It was quite far away from me, but I would have been okay getting the train. I would have been nervous on my own, but I would have survived. I would have been alright. So I think I'll just finish the shade on this because I think this video's getting a little bit long and my camera's flashing. Change my battery! Change my battery! And my stomach knows that it's coming up to dinner time. I like to prep my dinner. Is it weird? I prep my dinner and then put it in like a Ziploc bag and then put it in the fridge. So it feels like I've already done my packed lunch sort of thing. Or if I'm having a hot meal, that's different, but it's very rare actually that I have a hot meal in the daytime. It's usually just a sandwich. I've got some nice eggs in though. I might make a scrambled egg. Scrambled egg with beans and toast. See, it always comes back to food. Always comes back to food. I have got another tattoo booked in as well for June, but I'm umming and ahhing whether I should cancel it. I've got one of my friend's birthdays in June, but she's already had her present. She's already had it early. And my husband's birthday's in June as well. So I need to think of something to get him and get it ordered. It's really difficult to pick presents for my husband. I think he disagrees. I'm the easiest person in the world to buy presents for. He's not, and he likes all these branded clothes, and I have no idea about branded name stuff. I'm happy with buying my stuff from a supermarket. Clothes and stuff, I mean. I've not been to Primark in ages and ages. I think Primark's a bit hit and miss though, because sometimes the quality of the clothes, like you wash it a couple of times and you can't use it again. But I do like Tesco clothes. I do really like Tesco clothes. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there. I might add a tiny little bit of shading in my own time with that, but I don't think it needs too much more done to it, to be honest. I just want it to be an easy page. I am going to ask Kirsty first, can I do this background? And see what she says. And if she says okay, I might even film it. I might film it. But anyway, until next time, take care of yourself, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.